Hey guys, it's me, Jay, the Black Filipino TV. I have some great news, absolutely great news. Welcome to the Philippines. First off, I want to start by saying that today's the first day it's open to foreign tourists.
Welcome to the Philippines, have a look around.
This is what you've been waiting for.
This is what you came for.
This is why many foreigners were saying they wouldn't come to the Philippines.
I am not ever getting vaccinated.
That day stops now. Let's get right into it. Everybody knows this past year, these past 2 years has been a headache for most of you. A lot of you guys are saying you don't want to come anymore. A lot of you guys are saying, I don't want to, get vaccinated. I do want to come to the Philippines. I don't know where I'm going, but I don't want to be vaccinated. Now this one part of the Philippines is going to be open, it's Cebu. If anybody knows about Cebu, the governor there has been very welcoming to everyone. By welcoming, I mean, as far as like Filipinos right now, everywhere else in the Philippines, a lot of places required you to have the RT-PCR test, required you to be vaccinated. Now, Cebu has been open even to Filipinos from all over the Philippines for the longest. Cebu is doing that for foreigners now. Starting March 1st, unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, foreign nationals whose vaccination status cannot be independently determined can enter the Cebu airport only if they present a negative RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours before departing from their country of origin. Cebu has did this before, okay? Cebu actually did this back in February 2021, where they opened up the borders to people that were in the Philippines, and what happened was they allowed everyone in, meaning you don't have to have a RT-PCR test. Everyone in the Philippines was able to go to Cebu and tour there and be pretty much a tourist to that area. So what happened was, I have to let you guys know this, Cebu actually is the richest part of the Philippines, meaning they made the most money. And the numbers were crazy. It was like 218 billion pesos.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
And also all of their cities were like in the top 10. All of their cities were in the top 10 or either 6 or 4. And it makes sense. The governor who actually runs Cebu made this decision, and it's a smart decision. It's going to allow tourists to come in. She actually met with people from Korea. Also, let me see here what it says. Yeah, they were from Korea, Japan, and I forgot there was another country. Japan, Korea, and also China. So she met with these countries, and they have a lot of people looking to come in. I mean, that's the bulk of the tourism. Of course, US is a lot too, but still, these countries want to get in, and they want to get in unvaccinated. So she's opening it up. It makes perfect sense. It's a lot of guys that I spoke to. I speak to guys all the time that want to come in.
I don't want to go.
So it just makes sense for her to do this. And a lot of people actually want to go to Cebu. Right now, Cebu is rebuilding. But a lot of foreigners I know, I speak to them on a regular basis. Everybody I speak to, Cebu, Cebu, Cebu. And Cebu actually makes tons of tourism dollars. So what she's going to do, she's just going to open it up. It makes perfect sense. I think it's smart for a lot of the other LGUs to follow, because that was one of the things I spoke about a week ago, and that was an article that was spoken about, and it was said that LGUs need to lighten up, and it's true, because the LGUs in Cebu, which of course they're a local government, they decided to open it up, and they're doing it again, and they're going to rise to the top because of it. And that can be the same for tons of other areas around the Philippines. Hey, look, I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm not at all. This thing has been crazy. It's been hard times for the country, for the world. Tons of people had lost loved ones, and countries are trying to be safe. But now we're coming to a time where we have to live with this thing. March 1st, any foreigner that's unvaccinated, you can come in the Philippines. All you need is your RT-PCR test, and then you need to quarantine for 5 days. If you have no problem with that, come on in the Philippines. If you're going to see someone in Cebu, now is the time. Around the March time, a lot of you guys are not planning to come until June, maybe even July anyway. Or some of you guys are waiting until they do away with the whole no vax thing. But this is the thing. If you're looking to go to Cebu, a lot of guys are. You could actually get into Cebu, no problem, no vaccination needed. This is a good thing. I believe this is needed all around the Philippines. Now, it's the same thing what they said with the article I did about a week ago with the LGUs, local governments. They actually make their own rules. So actually, the governor of Cebu made it a lot easier for foreigners. She eased the burden for foreigners, meaning a lot of other countries you can get into no issues, no need to be vaccinated. There's a couple of countries, but the Philippines, you know, certain governments, certain areas, they go by different rules. So Cebu, they actually have their own rules that they're going by. And this is a good thing because a lot of you guys want to come to Cebu anyway. Actually, Cebu is one of the most visited places in the Philippines. Okay, Manila's up there. Cebu's like maybe number 2 or number 3. All right, great place to be. Okay, Cebu had a hard time since this past Typhoon Odette. You guys see when that happened? You know, it stormed through Cebu. But other than that, Cebu's always been willing to open it up to everyone, even to all Filipinos when this pandemic was still happening. Like for instance, what I mean by that is a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, even 4 or 5 months ago, I could have went to Cebu no problem. So that's a great thing. Now it's gonna be the same for you. Here's the article here. Cebu, still wealthiest province in PH for 7th consecutive time. And it says here for the 7th consecutive time, Cebu was still the richest province in the country. This was shown in the recently released report of the Commission on Audit of its 2020 annual financial report for local government units. In the report, state auditors ranked Cebu as the wealthiest province in terms of pure assets and net assets or equity. The province posted a total of 213 billion, well it says more, it's 213 billion 5,750,000 in assets. This is roughly 9.5 billion higher compared to the assets they registered in 2019. Cebu also tops the list of wealthiest provinces in the country in terms of net assets at 208 billion, 271,460,000 net assets refer to the difference between total assets and liabilities. Cebu is the only province that has breached the 200 billion mark, both in pure assets and equity. So when it comes to liabilities, the province only ranked 4th after posting a total of 4,734,290,000. While the capital has yet to issue its official statement on this development, it can be recalled that Cebu's total assets grew more than 400% in 2019. This after Governor Gwin decided to reappraise the value of all province-owned real properties, most of which were located in prime locations. The reappraisal made also contributed to the province's growing income. So then it shows here the other provinces that made it to the COA's top 10 wealthiest provinces in terms of equity. Number 2, Batangas, 3rd, Rizal, and 4th was Davao. So Cebu, actually, guys, this is just showing the thought process of the governor. And I'm not trying to promote her, but it's a lot of the thinking here is common sense, and she's using her common sense and some. I'm sure she's speaking with all of the other government people that advise. You know, people advise the governor, they advise the president. She's listening to all of the advice, and if it's negative, she's going against it, and she's doing what's best for the area. Now, I think a lot more of this attitude needs to be taken around the whole Philippines. I understand the fear, I get it, but this type of boldness is what's going to be needed to actually help the country thrive again. A lot of you are saying, I hear it all the time, you know, I'm waiting until this, I'm waiting until that.
We've been waiting patiently.
I'm waiting. Of course, it's fine with you guys saying I'm waiting until September. A lot of guys saying I'm not coming until they do away with the vaccination altogether. I'm not coming until they do it with this. We're not there yet. It may be a time. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, but who knows? It could be a time where all of the other local governments around the Philippines agree and say and do the same thing Cebu's doing and say, you know what? Let's open it up.
Okay, let's get started.
Let's reverse this tourism thing. Because guys, I did the numbers on it, and I did the numbers on how much customers they lost just from the visa extensions, okay? And it was up in the billions. It was like 3 billion pesos or something like that, maybe even more. It's a lot of money, guys. Philippines definitely wants to recover from this past year, and it definitely will. Now's the time to where people are becoming more immune, okay? And they even said it, even scientists are saying it. You know, with the last variant that came across, people are gonna become more immune. It's gonna become like regular everyday life now. Kind of like when the flu hit, Spanish flu, and you know, measles hit, all of these things happen, all of these pandemics happen, and now we just got through the pandemic, so now it needs to become more regular life. Cebu's going along with that, maybe the other governments will follow. I don't work for the government, so I can't call it, but hopefully a better day is coming soon. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/JTBF. And guys, if you like my content, be sure to buy me a coffee, support me. You can also book a consultation with me. I'm open and willing to talk to you, so be sure to contact me. Also guys, stay tuned for the next video. Over and out.